Court does call the case of the people versus Marcus Murray.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Parenting on behalf of Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray, can you state your name for the record, please?
Excuse me, Marcus Murray.
Okay. What are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, today was the date scheduled for a pretrial on this matter. Mr. Murray was picked up on a bond violation on Friday. I believe the complaining witness in this matter is present and she would like to speak to the court regarding the bond conditions that are in place.
And Your Honor, I don't believe that that's appropriate at this time, given the bond violation reports that Ms. Weidling sent over to us for today's hearing.
That's on, I'll get my date on September 8th.
Good
Hang on, let
afternoon,
me just
Your Honor.
hold
Ms.
on,
E,
ma'am.
please do not speak until the judge lets you.
I see that. Counsel, before I hear from anybody regarding anything, as to the bond violation,
Your Honor, Mr. Murray admits he had contact with Ms. G on Friday.
so he's admitting to the violation.
Yes.
What reason? Excuse me,
Yes.
Your Honor, I apologize, but it was a major situation for me to do what I did. Actually, I don't know if you were told or not, we have a child that's in foster care. I went and I actually went with Miss G to actually get inpatient, to get her meds straight. Get that situated, then turned over to clothing and everything that the actual foster care parents have wanted her to bring to the facility. And that's why I was there. And when I was loading her car up, they said that I was actually breaking in the car, which it turned out that I wasn't. And that's where, I admitted to the officer with the situation. I am not a threat. I am not a menace to society. Actually, a lot of people depend on me and my livelihood. And if I can say one more thing, on Thursdays is my visitation with our 8-month-old daughter. And the reason why it was a panic situation is because our daughter caught hand, foot, and mouth disease in foster care. And so I had to straighten a lot of things out.
Right. Well, I don't have any information regarding what you're indicating now to the court, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is this. You were arraigned on August 10th, and the conditions were very clear, and you
Well,
could
they
not
told-
have contact with. Well,
Yeah, but they
hold on.
told me.
Mr. Murray, do not interrupt the judge, okay?
Okay, my apologies.
And you were not to have contact. Were there something that could have arisen or did arise, then that's when you need to get in contact with your attorney or somehow or another try to figure out how this could be, because it's a clear violation.
Okay, can I say one thing? I actually was speaking to counsel, and then for some strange reason, our phone was actually disconnected when I was actually in Target to tell her all this. And then I actually sent the text message saying that it was very important for her to call me back. For the record, that's what happened.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine. And let's assume that's the case. You have to try to do something before the contact occurs.
Oh, well, I wasn't aware of that. All I know is it was an emergency situation for me to take her to Beaumont intake, and also to take the things that was actually at the facility. Other than that, I would have been keeping my distance until we could situate the whole situation.
Well, again, you can tell me all of this, but I don't have any of that information. And if you were in a position that you could have gotten that to your attorney, then fine, then maybe this becomes a different circumstance. I'll give you the opportunity to provide that information to me.
Okay.
But so I'll set the sentencing on the violation for September 18, 2023 at 12 noon. At this point, however, the bond will continue as denied with no bond, because all I've got is contact, and you were clearly not to be in contact. I will then set a pretrial for that same date at the same time.
So I'm trying to understand, because this is all new to me. I'm trying to understand it clearly.
What don't you understand?
Okay, I know I'm in violation of the no contact with me taking her to the actual hospital and do what I did, but I can get proof of that. But I'm saying, what you saying, you're denying the bond?
I'm leaving the bond there's no bond at this point, because all I have before me right now is a violation.
Okay, so what do I need to do?
Mr. Murray,
You
I'll be
need
in
to
touch with
talk to
you.
your attorney
Okay,
so that they can get whatever information they need to try to get that to the court for the sentencing that I've set for next week.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Ma'am, I don't mind hearing from you, but it's not going to change my position at this point on it.
I can
And I don't
provide
know-
the hospital documentation. If I can provide that, fax it to you, I can provide that.
Well, you might want to provide that then to the prosecutor's office, who can get it over to defense counsel. To
At this
explain this.
point, we have a daughter in foster care, and I have no family support, and I depend on him for support. We have visitation with our 8-month daughter in foster care, and I don't have any family support, so I look up to him.
Ma'am, I understand what you're telling me. All right. I think that Mr. Murray indicated in essence the same thing to me. What I'm telling you, as I told him, I don't have anything in front of me to indicate that what you're telling me occurred on that day.
I have the paperwork in front of me right here.
All right, you can go ahead and keep talking, because I'm not going to be interrupted. I'll explain to you where I am on this, but if you're going to interrupt me, I'm done then.
My apology.
So are you finished?
Yes.
So what I'm indicating to you is that all I have in front of me is the report. Rather than sentencing him on the violation, because I could just sentence him on the violation and probably wouldn't like that sentence. I'm giving an opportunity for Mr. Murray to provide the information to the court before I do anything else.
Okay,
That's why I set it to next week. Whatever information is out there that you can get to the prosecutor's office, maybe get to, so that they can get it to defense counsel. But if you get it to the prosecutor's office, maybe the prosecutor's office position changes regarding the bond violation.
can I say?
Regardless of the fact, what I indicated to Mr. Murray is that while these certainly I can understand the circumstances may arise, he needs to get to his attorney before this happens to try to prevent this from occurring.
But I was
But
in the
right-
process, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I just want to let you know, this court date that's set today, I was in the process of trying to tend to this court date to not pursue with charges because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not.
Ma'am, that is not up to me at this point in time. These charges are pending. I'm not even going to go down that path with you at this point. What I've got before me is a bond violation. I'm indicating to you how that may be able to be corrected.
Okay,
So
I understand.
and that's the best I can do at this point in time, because I don't have anything in front of me other than that. So I'm giving Mr. Murray the opportunity to get something to the court,
Okay,
and maybe that will change the court's position. You indicate, ma'am, you're in possession of certain things. Get those to the prosecutor's office. Maybe something prior to the 18th can be worked out. I don't know.
How can I get this to them today?
I think have you been in touch with the victim's advocate?
Yes.
Okay. I'd suggest working through the victim's advocate to try to get that information.
And what is it? Just the hospital documentation of the crisis I had over the weekend?
If there was hospital Mr. Murray has given to the court his explanation for why the contact was occurring. Anything that would bear on that, I think should provide to the victim's advocate, as well as that Mr. Murray, to the extent he has access to it, can get it to his counsel.
Like I said, this is rough on me because I depend on him with this whole foster care setting.
Ma'am.
listen, I'm understanding now. So basically, I'm here until sentencing, until the paperwork is presented before you.
Gee, I said that probably about 10 minutes ago.
Okay,
And maybe if everybody would stop talking and listen to what I'm saying and get the information to counsel, something may be able to be worked out prior to the 18th.
okay.
But
Thank you, Your Honor.
you can talk at me all day. I'm not moving on where I am.
Yes, I
But I don't
understand.
have anything to move.
Can I speak to my counsel in the breakout room for a second?
Mr. Murray,
is the
I'll come
last
to jail
year.
and meet with you, okay?
They'll
Okay.
come and see you. I'm done. Bond continued as I just indicated. Thank you. Okay, we're done till 1:14. Court does call the case of the people versus Marcus Murray.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray, can you please state your name for the record?
Marcus Murray.
What are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, we are here for a pretrial and a bond violation sentencing. I can address both in the court, in the way that the court wants, either the pretrial or sentencing first.
Whatever your pleasure.
Okay. As for the pretrial, we are requesting that we set this for a final settlement conference.
Jury final settlement conference, October 13th, 2023, 9 a.m. Jury selection if necessary, October 16th, 2023, 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. And as for sentencing, I did submit a bond motion and sentencing memorandum. I would rely on that sentencing memorandum for sentencing, but happy to answer any questions that the court may have.
And Your Honor, I did provide Ms. Prenny with the information that you had asked the victim to get to our office. She did send it to the victim advocate. Proof that she was in the hospital that day. I did forward that to his defense counsel. My concern is that she made it here to try to get that information to us. So obviously she has other means of transportation that would have not been Mr. Murray given the no contact order. And then we heard from the defendant himself saying he understood that there was a no contact order, but in that situation, she needed to go to the hospital. It was urgent, and there was a necessity for him to contact her. We kept everything as is, as the court wanted to hear and see the information from the victim and hear from the public defender as well as the prosecutor. Unfortunately, as of this morning, since our last hearing, while waiting for that proof, Mr. Murray has contacted the victim 55 times in custody. So I have the phone calls, I have the logs. I can send that to Miss Prenny. It appears that under his inmate ID, her number has been dialed from the 11th to the 17th.
I'm sorry, what was the last part you stated, Ms. Kirby?
Her number has been dialed the days since the hearing from September 11th to the 17th. So that the last call was yesterday at 6:47 p.m.
Counsel, anything you want to say to that?
Your Honor, I was not aware of that contact. Mr. Murray does seem shocked by that. I have not spoken about that with him. However, I do know Miss G is here. She was present last Monday, and she did want to request that no contact order was lifted. I did inform Mr. Murray again after last hearing that he was to not have contact with her. At this point, again, she does want the no contact order to be lifted. I did say explain in the sentencing memorandum about those previous contacts. I don't think Mr. Murray is a threat or there's any fear of physical harm coming to Miss G. I think Mr. Murray is eager to resolve this case, get this behind him, and again, Miss G is here again. I have not spoken to her since our last hearing, but again, she was, present, asking for that no contact order to be lifted last Monday.
Hang on a second. Thank you. Part of the court's concern is that while everybody was trying to get everything together to justify or at least give the court information regarding the previous contact, and counsel for the defendant prepared an extensive sentencing memorandum, it appears as though Mr. Murray can't follow the court's direction to continue no contact. Now I see him shaking his head. I mean, is he disputing what the prosecutors indicated regarding calls?
Can I speak? Am I allowed?
Well, you can if you want to, but you might want to talk to your attorney before you start saying anything.
Can I go in the breakout room for a second?
Well, given it that it's new information, I'll And it's the last jail, right? I'll let it happen this time, but normally it's not how it works. So if we can put Mr. Murray and Ms. Brenny into a breakout room, I'd appreciate it. And court will stand in recess.
And I am sending the log to Ms. Perenni and to the court.
All righty, thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay. We're back on the record in the case of the People versus Murray.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I did speak with Mr. Murray and I did receive the log from Ms. Kirby. Mr. Murray does admit and would like to provide an explanation of why he had contact with Ms. G over the last week.
Okay.
So
he admits to these violations.
Yes, the contact, yes.
Okay, what's his reason?
So he told me that he was having contact with her because at the last hearing, he believed that he needed to get the documentation that was provided in the court, to the court in the sentence memorandum, and bond motion for bond reconsideration. And he thought he needed to work with her to get the court that information.
Really?
Yes, he believed that trumped in a way the no contact order, that instruction. I did reiterate to him that, again, he was to have no contact with Miss G. He also stated that he was helping him manage his affairs. He had no one else to help him with manage his work, his bank account, things with their daughter who was in foster care. And that is why they had contact over the last week.
55 times to do all that?
Your Honor, my sister stays in Dallas and the other sister stays in Phoenix. And I sent money to one of them. I sent order for them to actually put money on their account so they can actually take care of my affairs. But for some strange reason, it wasn't working out. So my daughter is in foster care and I have an appointment tomorrow with a cancer doctor. So I've been calling to actually connect the dots. Honestly, I am not a violent person. I respect the court. My apologies to everybody involved in this misunderstanding. I don't even go through this. I don't even know how this stuff go. You know, I just want my daughter back and I want to take care of my health and do the right thing.
55 times?
Yeah, because some of those times I was on the phone with other people to actually make sure stuff is being done. I have contract obligations outside of here, and some of those contract obligations, Your Honor, that if I don't make through with them, then I'm gonna be, I'm gonna owe some people money on different things. I do. The court probably don't know anything about it. I do art projects and exhibits, and I also do a mentoring program with a couple of actual artists that actually go out and perform and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff outside of my regular life besides this mix-up that's very important. But the main one is my daughter. I visit my daughter every Thursday to actually get her up out of the system, which it was a misunderstanding with that we're working out. So my apologies to the court, and I'm asking for mercy. I don't care if I'm out on the tether.
Mr. Murray, I think you provided a sufficient explanation.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like 11 hours of talking to do all that.
Yes, sir.
Over the past week. Well, let's see if we can make it any further. Because I'm adjourning the sentence on the the bond violation, the previous one as well as this one. I'll set that for a special day, October 3rd, 2023 at 1 p.m. His bond will continue as revoked until he understands how he's going to operate. Thank you. Yeah. Can we go off?